My God, I hate GG. Every single time, it feels like it's just an abusive relationship where you try to leave, you try to walk away, but they somehow just keep pulling you back. And honestly, that's what 326 feels like. They managed to pull me back once again. Kitties, I am extremely excited about all the content that's coming out with this season because, yeah, honestly, I feel like they cooked and I'm kind of impressed on how much they managed to get done in just 3 short months since they started working on it in March, I think. They honestly are blowing out of the water with 326, and I think all of us are going to have a lot of fun. So let's go over everything that's coming to get you excited and get you on board with everything that you're going to be experiencing and, well, hopefully hype you up for a new PoE season. So this is going to be an expansion season where we are not only getting a new seasonal mechanic, but also a massive upgrade and rework of the game's endgame. This has happened every 2 to 3 years or so, and you can think of this as something like when Shaper and Elder came out, or when the Conquerors and Sires came out, or Maven and the Atlas Tree, and things like that. To go over the new endgame contents coming with the expansion, basically the TLDRs were going to help Zana's brother try to find Zana, and to do so, starting in tier 14 and higher maps, you're going to be able to encounter these weird eldritch thread things that you can interact with, and then Zana's brother inside your hideout is then going to give you a memory that you're going to be able to do that is going to work exactly like all the other memories, where you're going to be doing a string of maps in order and you're going to be fighting a boss at the end. And each of these maps, as you kill new originator influence packs the monsters, you are going to get yourself petals, and there's going to be new abilities you can use inside of these maps. They're going to either make monsters into loot pinatas or make them respawn again or give you soul eater and other fun stuff like that. Once you do kill the boss at the end of the map, you're then going to be given an altar, which is then going to give you one of two choices for how to make the rest of the maps in the memory chain give you more rewarding loots or make them harder, or both at the same time. You're going to progress through this chain through 4 maps in total, and then at the end of it, you're going to be fighting a act boss, which is going to be reimagined a little bit from Xana's perspective. When you end up killing those act bosses, you're then going to get fragments, which are going to be combined together to make one of the 3 new keys to fight the new Pinnacle bosses available with this. They did not directly say it, but it makes sense that this is the case, that these 3 new Pinnacle bosses are also going to have new Uber versions of them available as well. When you end up killing the 3 Pinnacle bosses for the first time, you're then going to now be able to start dropping originator influence maps, which are just tier 16 maps with tier 17 map mods on them. Yep, tier 17s are technically gone. Mark said that he doesn't think most people are going to be touching T17s anymore, but we now have tier 16.5 maps, which is basically the same thing. At least you can annul these and craft them and do exactly whatever you want to them, so maybe they're a little bit better. And at the same time, you don't have to fight the bosses in the T17 maps, which honestly were really tough with those mods on them. So maybe it's going to be a little bit better, but none of the modifiers were touched, and they're just as strong and as powerful as they were on T17. So you'll still be able to get 40% enemy Ellie pen as a map mod, unfortunately. I honestly kind of like this whole expansion content. I feel like it's going to be pretty fun, and you don't necessarily have to do tier 16.5 mods, I guess. And while sure, tier 16.5 maps kind of suck that they now exist, you can just simply just do them with 1 or 2 mods on them and make them a little bit more reasonable, or just simply choose to ignore them and just do the memory chains that are available as the main portion of the content. The cool thing about all these maps, the memory chain ones and the originator influence ones that you start getting once the pinnacles die, is that you can juice them and do whatever you want with them, just like their normal maps, meaning basically the only thing that's forced upon you is doing a specific layout and nothing else. On top of this, we are now going to be getting a new season mechanic, which, oh my God, I am so looking forward to, and you're getting a whole video discussing this topic because there's quite a lot to say here. The TLDR of the new seasonal mechanic is that there's now going to be mercenaries throughout your maps. With these mercenaries, you have 3 options. Banish them and get rid of them for 10 maps if you don't like what they have. Fight them for everything that they have in their little currency inventory pouch. You get all of it at once. Or choose to fight them for one of their pieces of gear. These pieces of gear are going to be very well rolled, meaning they're going to have some pretty darn good gear on them. And, well, if they have an ace ring, you can just go ahead and choose to fight them for the ring, and if you win, they'll just give it to you. Lastly, and this is going to be the most exciting part, you are going to be able to hire them as your own personal bodyguard. While they act as your bodyguard, you're going to be able to replace all of their gear with gear of your choosing, meaning everyone basically gets an anime guardian that they can customize to their choosing. Do you want to give them a Perquis toe so all of your damage is now lucky? Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Do you want to give them a Kingmaker so now you just have permanent fortify and coaling and crit chance, you can go ahead and do that. You can give these guys literally any gear that you want to, and you're going to be seeing people mirror craft gear for Mercenaries, which honestly, I didn't really know I needed in my life. I'm super excited for these because there's quite a lot of cooking you can do here, and I've already done quite a bit of cooking for it, and you can expect a whole video out on that topic, like I said, because I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy these. Not only can you give them gear, and I should mention here, if they die, you simply just got to go rehire them in town. You literally never lose all the gear. It's just there and you can take it back whenever you want to, and there's no penalties or anything other than if they die, they're just not available for the rest of the map. They also have their own skills, and they can come with auras. There was one that they showed with both haste and grace available, and they've shown basically every aura off, which honestly is pretty cool that you get to get a free aura like that. At the same time, there's going to be some mercenaries simply completely based around just having a lot of damage on them, and they did showcase some gameplay of someone playing a solo aura bot supporting the mercenary and having the mercenary do all the work for them. I'm honestly really excited for all the different possibilities here, and I feel like you're going to see a lot of really cool content from pretty much every content creator surrounding these mercenaries. On top of that, in terms of other major things that are coming, they did do quite a few balance changes, which I'll link a video in the description below if you want to have a quick TLDR on all the balance changes, but there's going to be quite a big meta shakeup, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. There are also adding in quite a lot of really nice quality of life. Breach splinters now all drop at once in one stack when the breach ends. You now have currency below strong boxes and essences, so you don't have to open your inventory to use your currency, and quite a lot of other really nice things. The other major changes coming for the season is going to be a massive rework to Betrayal. First off, Katarina is now itemized, and you could buy Katarina runs if you want to, and just go and do it like any other boss. Katarina's loot table is also being reworked to where she will now be able to drop Veiled Exalted Orbs, which are simply what Veiled Chaos Orbs currently do, but as a new currency, allowing the Veiled Chaos Orbs to be reintroduced into the game as drops exclusive from hideout leaders specifically. This means that when you do a Katarina, it does not reset your Betrayal anymore, meaning you can set up a perfect Betrayal board and just sit there and farm it to your heart's content, which honestly sounds really, really fun, given they reworked the majority of the Betrayal rewards to make them more enticing and more interesting for you to interact with. Overall, farming actual Betrayal is going to be pretty good because then you get to sell Katarinas to people, you get to sell Veiled Chaos Orbs, and you get quite a lot of varied and fun loot, while at the same time farming Katarina is going to feel really good because they reworked the fight to make it less annoying, and you're going to get yourself Veiled Exalted Orbs to sell to people. You're going to get the actual hideout loot itself, which is going to also be buffed. You're going to get yourself the new uniques from her because they're reworking all of them to be more interesting. And finally, Allflames from Necropolis have been added back in the game as Katarina exclusive drops. These Allflames are likely going to be absurdly powerful, and a lot of juicers are going to want them, meaning that farming Katarina for profit is most likely going to be one of the better things to do for currency next season. There's something for everyone. Do you want a boss? Do Katarina. Do you want a map and you want to do quick maps? Do you normal Betrayal? I'm really looking forward to it. Finally, as the last thing we should go over, Settlers is going core, and it's going to be a permanent part of the game. Your town is going to be always completed for you, so you do not need to reprogress through it every single time. It's just done and it's maxed out for you at all times. Recombinators is still going to be there, and all the mechanics from Settlers are basically staying exactly the same. It looks like they're rebalancing a few things. We took a frame by frame look at the shipping, and it looks like they are nerfing the shipment times, so they're now longer, and they're most likely rebalancing loot distribution and whatnot. And we're now getting rune glyphs as a new reward instead of the old rune enchantments that we had before, and these rune glyphs can simply just be thought of as tattoos, but for your masteries. They've shown off a few of them, and they honestly look pretty powerful, so I'm excited to see exactly how these end up playing out once we get to see what all of them have to offer. They're also adding settler support to Atlas Tree, and you can specifically juice for settlers if you'd like to farm more ores and crops to then use to send shipments. That's pretty much all there is to patch 3.26. Honestly, it's fairly short in terms of the amount of different things that they're changing, but the things that they are going to change are honestly pretty impactful, and I'm really looking forward to all the endgame changes. I'm really looking forward to farming Betrayal. I'm excited to try out Settlers and Settlers juicing to see if that can be profitable. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to help you as soon as I can. I also stream on Twitch every single day, so feel free to come by Twitch and ask me your questions there. And as always, if you simply just want to come by and be a part of our community and come and hang out with other cuties, you're more than welcome to drop by or come by our Discord and hang out with everyone there. With all that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next video.